From one senior to the next, we'll move to lacrosse as we have the redshirt senior out of Newtown Square, Pennsylvania, and Adam Yee. And we were just joking around. I said, "Where are you from?" From Philadelphia. And I said, "No pride for your hometown." But it's a small town. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, it's a small town a little bit west of Philadelphia. The high school I went to was Penncrest. I live on a border between Marple Township and Edgemont. So I just made the cutoff to go to Penncrest, or I would have been a tiger instead of a lion in high school.
I know, but when I was in high school, it was the big rivalry was, I'm from New York, was John Jay East Fishkill versus Arlington. And the only difference was Arlington, as we say, were the wealthy kids. Mm-hmm. And then John Jay and Ketchum, we were a district that was split into two high schools, and that was always the bitter rival.
Yeah.
But now you're here on the college circuit. You're in your fifth year, and it's been a little bit of a rough stretch for you. You've had a couple ACL injuries, and now you're just returning back, not full surgeryed up, but you returned back in this past game that you guys had a tough loss. How's your senior year been going?
Well, it's senior year was a lot different than I guess what would have been in my true senior year. I felt since the guys that I came in with graduated, I wasn't as close to the guys in my class now as I was with the guys that graduated last year, but it was it was good to kind of be a little bit removed from them because I could take I would say like a different viewpoint on it, and being a little bit more mature at the time, having that extra year under my belt, there was a lot more I could contribute off the field. More of a leadership aspect. And, I know I wasn't a captain, but there was a lot of stuff I was able to help the captains with just being there and, seeing it happen for an extra year.
We're talking with Adam Yee, the redshirt senior from the lacrosse team here for Hawk Sports Talk. And let's, dissect this season. You guys are in the beginning of the season, really didn't have your identity going. The chemistry really wasn't going. Then all of a sudden you get walloped by Albany. You suffer your injury there, and then the team goes on a 4-game winning streak. Mm-hmm. And then I feel like that trap game against Sacred Heart, where it was that quick turnaround off a major high, you wind up losing to Sacred Heart on a Tuesday, and then all of a sudden you suffer a big loss in conference to Vermont this past weekend. Where's your guys' mental capacity now going into your final game of the regular season to make sure you get into the postseason red hot?
Right now it's way more positive than you'd think it would be coming off 2 losses, because we were able to analyze that past week where we had those 2 losses and kind of pick out the problems and see where things were going wrong. And we came in on Monday and we came in firing on like a real rainy day, what most people would think would be like a bad day to play lacrosse. And we played some great lacrosse. Like we had a huge compete level. Our team just we understand what's at stake. And we'd rather be able to take care of business ourselves rather than having to rely on anybody else to get into the playoffs. So we beat Stony Brook ourselves. We take that 2 seed, and that's really what the mission is this week. That's what our goal is. We need to all come together and do this together as a team to really pull this one out.
You, in your career, have been a very good face-off guy. Last year, you were first team all conference for the America East and second team on the NELA lacrosse team. You have 2 incoming freshmen that are pretty nasty. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, just watching you, I don't get to follow your team on a consistent basis, but I feel like you being mature, being a fifth-year senior, handled that pretty well. Mm-hmm. And you kind of, I guess, passed the torch because face-off specialist here for Pete Lawrence and Hartford Lacrosse has been pretty good with Timmy Fallon, the pride of Lowell back in the day.
Yep.
But just talk about, passing the torch and, letting the young blood kind of take over, and then you're kind of willing to take over in whatever role that you need to be in, you're willing to accept that.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah, that was the thing about taking face-offs in the beginning. It was, I wanted to help the team in any capacity I could, and the year I came back and took face-offs was coming off an ACL tear. And, I really didn't know what my identity was going to be on the team, so I found a spot where I could excel and help the team, and that was my goal. That was my job. That was what I did, and I wanted to do that to the best of my ability. Also, Dylan Protesto and Spencer Andrews. Dylan's from my hometown, And, he went to the same high school as me. And every time I'd go back, I'd work with him. And, it was nice. And when he was looking for colleges, I was telling him a lot about Hartford and, why he would like the place, especially as a face-off guy. And he looked into it. He ended up coming here, and I couldn't have been more happy to have him and also working with Spencer. Spencer's been great. Like, he takes coaching so well. He takes advice so well, even from me, like, and from Coach McGuire. These kids are just so willing to learn. So it was really easy to pass the torch to them. And I was willing to. It wasn't like it was like a bitter thing saying goodbye to taking faceoffs. Like, I wanted to be a midfielder. I wanted to play, in the capacity that I wanted to be on the field more than just taking faceoffs. And getting Spence and Dylan to take those faceoffs, it really freed up a lot more energy for me to be able to play in other capacities of the game.
We're sitting down with Adam Yee, the redshirt senior from Newton Square, Pennsylvania, and talking about energy. Watch you on the sideline. You've been sidelined for past few games, able to get back in this Vermont game. Ton of energy. You remind me a little bit of me when I played. I was a ball of fire, and then if I was on the sideline, I felt like I was still playing, but that kind of thing. I feel like a lot of people feed off of you with that. Just what is it about when the game starts, whether you're in uniform or you're not, you're still bringing that fire?
So, definitely being not in uniform, I understood that, I wasn't able to help the team on the field, right? I wasn't able to make plays on the field, but being on the sideline, I wanted to be able to help the team, and I thought of a way that I would be able to best help in that capacity, and it was, I wanted to be the biggest energy raiser on the team. I wanted to be the best sideline teammate, and I told Coach Lawrence, I was joking with him, like, my mission for the Binghamton game, that was the first game that I wasn't able to play. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna lead the team in high fives today, and I made that my point on the sideline, that I was just all fire, that nothing was gonna bring me down. Like a goal scored against us wasn't gonna bring me down. I was gonna keep the team up whenever I could. I wanted to be the loudest guy on the sideline, because being on the field when the sideline's going, and you hear you guys encouraging you, you're making decisions like quick like that. There's no hesitation. They're telling you exactly what you need to do and where you need to be, and having that encouragement brings that confidence. And when we play with confidence, our team is pretty much unstoppable. Firing on all cylinders.
You were a member of the 2011 America East Championship team, and now you're playing in your fifth year. You got a big game here against Stony Brook. Go figure. Mm-hmm. As that 2011 team beat Stony Brook on the road in dramatic fashion down in Long Island. But coming from what a championship caliber team is and what you guys need to do going into this game coming up on Friday night underneath the lights here at home, and to make sure that you're red hot going into the postseason, compare those two teams and tell me exactly what this team has and what you guys need to do to make sure you get a win and you go into the postseason red hot.
What this team has is we have the talent, and we have the ability to play with our heads and to run the systems. We have an identity. We're a 6-on-6 lacrosse team, and that's where we thrive. We thrive on one side of the ball, and then we thrive on the other side of the ball. So as a team, what we need to do is we need to stick to the game plan. Everybody needs to be bought into the same game plan, and Coach Lawrence has been doing a great job of letting us know what that message is and what we really need to do together to get this accomplished. That 2011 team, like, we knew what we did well. We won faceoffs, we scored goals from the attack, and we made big saves on our goalie. This team is the same thing. We win faceoffs a lot. We're getting a ton of production out of our offense when we're in settled 6-on-6, and when we're in defense, we get them settled. Our defense puts the ball on the ground, and we get to clear the ball, and we're clearing the ball at a high rate.
And that team was sexy.
Yeah, no, he said, yeah, it's not a sexy brand of lacrosse. There aren't those huge highlight plays that you see from these other like big name teams, but winning is what's important now. It's not trying to make ESPN top 10. It's about getting the W.
Appreciate the time. Enjoy the lights and the lamplight on Friday night, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the postseason.
Thanks, appreciate it.
That's a redshirt senior out of Pennsylvania, and Adam Yee, the lacrosse team. Big matchup coming up on Friday night, 7 p.m. at the Zook, as the Seawolves of Stony Brook come into town, and a playoff spot and seeding on the line. We'll take a break here on Hawk Sports Talk. When we come on back, we'll take a sneak peek at the Look Ahead in Hartford Athletics here on 91.3 FM WWH.